Yeah. Two peas in the pot.
Una mattina mi sono alzato, bella ciao, bella ciao. Una mattina mi sono alzato e ho entrato l'invaso.
E le genti che passeranno, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, 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 delle genti che passeranno, mi diranno che
Una mattina mi sono alzato, bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Una mattina mi sono alzato e ho trovato l'invaso.
Again, you see
Yizzo, what's going on, everybody? All right. I did not schedule this show in advance. I'm not surprised there's not a ton of people here. I don't even see Miss Can't Be Wrong, but we'll see what happens as time goes on. We got 34 people right now. Robert Miller, what's going on? Joseph Montanero, positive pessimist. Yeah, I know. Well, that's AI. It didn't do me any favors, you know. And by the way, the guy with the thing sticking out of his head, I didn't even notice that till you said it, till I read your comment. And I'm like, huh, I wonder what that is. It looks like a finger, kind of. Sabrina Merrick, Yizzo. Or a peckerhead. It's possible. It's possible. Listen, guys. I decided I'd come on and do another show. Got to try to make money today, you know, just like every day. It's what I do, you know, it's what I do. The true crime show, I really enjoyed. I did, but, you know, you're not going to make money off of that. And then I started a politics live stream, but there's just my algorithm is so shot. You remember how I said months ago that anytime it happens, I have to do some uploads? I don't know if that'll work this time, but it usually always does. So I'm going to start doing uploads tomorrow. This way I can get the algorithm going again. And then even when we do addiction or recovery shows, there'll be more people, many more people, you know, as long as that algorithm is working right. So I don't know what it is about those live streams. I guess because they don't get a lot of watch time. You got to do uploads every now and then. It's the only way it works. You know, what's up, White Mike? How the fuck are you? Intro song makes me want to jump out of a window. I just like it because I like the fact that I stole it from SoFlo and there's nothing he can do about it, you know. I like fucking with that guy. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. The two Tonys, you know, not to mention a whole bunch of other people, but there's not a lot of people to fuck with anymore, you know, not really. I don't even know what's going on with Angel. I haven't heard anything about her show. I don't know if she's done any new interviews. Is Angela still doing videos? What about Maureen? Did they all stop? I don't know. But yeah, you guys fill me in actually as I talk here because I'm curious if they've been doing anything. But does York have a big skate scene? Maybe you could do some York skate content. You seem to be passionate about skating. I don't know, just throwing it out there. No, it's all good, Joseph. No, I mean, yeah, it does, but I'm not into doing skate content. I told you I did the true crime show because I want to talk about that Richard Allen case. And I doubt that I'll do more, but maybe every now and then, you know. But I learned stuff from you guys because I don't know that much about that one. I didn't follow it much, you know, because I don't know, some of those cases, like I said during that live stream we did, you know, a lot of them, I do believe they got the wrong guy because of all the things just that don't seem to add up. But sometimes, you know, people just say they got the wrong guy because people are skeptical of everything. So I never paid it much attention. And then today when I was listening, I was like, oh shit, there really is reasons to believe they got the wrong guy. You know, so I'm not actually looking for any types of other content to do because I already have enough. The fucking addiction recovery, the politics and mob tube stuff. Yeah, I'm not worried about that. I just got to get their algorithm working for the vertical live streams again, which that's been an issue since I started. Every now and then you have to, you know. And I remember one time I went from getting like 700 to 1,000 live views, like live. I'm talking about in the chat at once, you know, throughout a show, to going down to like I couldn't break 30. And then I did an upload, and then the next day I was back up again, 700 to 1,000. So it's just something you got to do. I think they make you do it for watch time, you know. So if you guys see me post a politics video and it says, you know, watch it as long as you can, that's why. So it gets watch time. So I'm gonna I'll probably post one tomorrow. I don't think I'll do it tonight, but and then that'll get better and whatever. It doesn't matter. I mean, listen, the last few days, well, you know, let me not even get into it, but anyway, I figured I would do one of these now since the politics shit. There's just nowhere to. I mean, if I'm not going to get any people watching, there's no point, you know. And I was 5 minutes in, and I had like 40 people, so it's like fuck that. YouTube is a motherfucker, man. You think it'd be so easy, but it's not. I used to laugh at Lee when he would talk about the algorithm so much, the algorithm. But sure enough, he was right. I mean, you basically you have to bend over backwards and do a million different types of things to to get it going, you know. And I wasn't I was fucking around with this vidIQ recently, and it was telling me how to make my shows more appealing, like the politics shows specifically, by adding tags and doing thumbnails. And you saw I started doing you know, like pretty good thumbnails, and you know, for a little while there I was working on titles instead of just doing Tuesday night politics, Wednesday night politics, stuff like that. But then my algorithm was shot, so you know, I don't know if that'll actually work when the algorithm's doing well. But it was just a waste of my time because, you know, it wasn't. So I got to try it when things are good. I got to try the thumbnails and add in the tags in the back and the different hashtags and stuff. The internet is toxic with social media. It is. It is. You know, we were really truly better off a long time ago than we are now. I fucking reminisce about just, you know, being younger before there were smartphones and shit, and how different life was. It really is true, you know. Life was a lot different. Now it's nothing but these fucking uh, just everything. The social media sites, everybody being on their smartphones 24 hours a day. Now AI is the worst possible thing that could have ever happened to humanity. I think I honestly believe that it's so incredibly dangerous. So incredibly dangerous. John Graham, 10 pounds, little tip for FBS. Thank you, John. I appreciate you, brother. Lee is right. Lee is all. I'm sorry. Lee is right. It's all about the algorithm, dude. Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. With these live streams, I don't care that much. You know, as long as I told you, as long as the people that matter the most are here. But those vertical live streams, the only point in doing those, like politics, is if you have tons of people watching. You know, so the last couple of weeks, probably I've only been getting maybe between 200 and 300 live viewers, you know, throughout the show. So it only adds up to 8,000 views, 10,000 views, but it's not enough people to get donations going and stuff. I miss days before social media. 2004 was okay. Where are you going to get free music? Oh, I'm sorry. Where you get free music and movies. It's gone way too far. I know. Yeah, that was enough for me, man. LimeWire and shit, you know, and the bootlegs and stuff. But now it's fucking nuts, man. You can these AI things, you can have anybody doing or saying anything, you know, and it's completely fake, but you can't even tell. I watch these fucking things they do with scenes from Breaking Bad where they just change everything in the scene, and it's like, how the fuck? I never thought that would be possible. But you could make your own episodes of Breaking Bad at this point, or any TV show. Joseph Montanaro, $4.99 pizza is the worst thing that happened to humanity. How dare you? That's true. Pizza is worse than AI. Yeah. Thank you for the $4.99, brother. Yeah, I was listening to a little clip. I might play a little like 2-minute clip of one of his older videos, just because of you know what the title of this show is. I told you yesterday, and I've been saying it. There's no doubt he's still in Florida, and then the way you know is that he won't show you he's somewhere else. You know, because it's very easy to fuck with Tony. You know, psychologically, you say, oh, you're lying, and he'll go out of his way, because he is always lying 99% of the time. So the rare occasion when he's not, if you say he is, he'll do anything possible to prove that he isn't, you know. So he would show us he's somewhere else. He's saying, he made a post like he's back up north. I don't know, that depends on where up north. New York though, no. And I don't even think he left Florida. I don't. But I got a couple of clips I'm not going to play because I was just skipping through shit. I wasn't even keeping track of what videos they were on. But he said a couple of weeks ago, you know, that he wants me to go there because he can't afford to come here. But now all of a sudden he claims he's in New York. And we know he's got the money, you know, but it's just funny that I have him saying that. And now he's, you know, it's a different story. Now he's already in New York. Had no problem finding the money, you know. But There's a threat he made. I'm going to play. I think I already played it, but it's short, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, remember FrostWire or LimeWire? Well, FrostWire, I think I don't know if that was around until later or if it was around during the LimeWire period. I don't know, but there was another one called WinMX or WinX, something like that. That was great for music. Great. Yeah. Napster. I would, during my DJ career, they were useful to me because it's not easy to get even 25 years ago, or 20 years ago, whatever. It wasn't easy to get every song on vinyl, so even though you used turntables and you used records, you just couldn't get every song, or at least not when they were brand new and they just hit the radio or something like that. So you'd have no choice but to use CDs sometimes. You could use your records 90% of the time, but for newer songs and shit, you got to have CDs. So you can just download that shit for free and burn a CD. I used to love doing it. I'd go to the mixtape websites and just look at the playlists of the mixtapes. Those would always be the newest songs. And then you take those songs and, you the names of the songs, whatever, and go to WinMX or whatever the fuck it was called, and or LimeWire and download the shit. So easy. YouTube was okay in 2006. The AI stuff, doxing, and chaos on the internet is nuts. Also, do not believe you are anonymous, even with VPNs and hard Linux setups. I got doxed. Is that right? Yeah. It's not something that concerns me, but yeah, I can understand why it would be an issue for people. I was watching something. I don't like the Young Turks. I can't stand them. I think they're sellouts. But I was watching yesterday a story about, people that a certain, there's a certain nation that's going after anybody who speaks badly of that nation. Do you know what I'm talking about? And I mean, they really do. They just they'll dox you and your whole family. They'll go after you every which way possible. They'll try to make it so you can never get a job again. And I was seeing examples of it and people telling stories about, they were content creators or influencers who would speak out against this certain nation. And a lot of bad things happened to them because of it. FrostWire was better. It was faster and came with zero spyware. I didn't know about all that. I just used whatever I could download music on. I kind of want to collect vinyl records, but it's out of my budget. The doxing, I'm just saying, should believe they are. Nobody should believe there ain't. Oh, yeah. You're not anonymous. No way. Pizza's so thirsty he can't completely stop coming on YouTube. He has been putting up dopey posts. Well, who does that remind you of? That's what SoFlo was doing when he was supposedly gone for 3 months. He's so full of shit because he'll say, no, not Uruguay. Jane Creek. He'll say that, like when he came back and every day probably, I don't even know if he still comes on. I don't hear anything about SoFlo, but he says, well, I was gone for 3 months. You had to keep talking about me, FBS. Bitch, bro, you were coming back. You were making posts virtually every single fucking day about my wife. The fuck are you talking about? I had to keep talking about you. Yeah, you wouldn't have it any other way. That's why you were doing that. Stupid fucking asshole. But that's how they are, man. And Pizza, believe me, that this is how because he could say whatever he wants. He's given the speech 1,000,000 times. I'm not going to do lives because then FBS will have content. Bro, I'll have content no matter what. Like even earlier, you see, I did the true crime show. Now, that didn't bring any money on that one. It doesn't mean it wouldn't if I did it from time to time. It doesn't. The point is, I can always have content. I'll always have something to do live streams about. I mean, I'm the only person. I do 3 different types of content every single, the addiction recovery I don't do every day, but I'm doing them more and more often, and I'll do them in the same day as a mob tube show and a fucking politics show. So there's nobody on here who can compete with me when it comes to content, not even close. I could do shows talking about whatever. The drama brings in the most money, of course, but what was I gonna say? about, oh yeah, he gives the speech about, I'm not going to do any shows because then this cockshucker will have content again. Bro, I'd have content no matter what. Today I got a late start. That's the only thing that fucked me up. Otherwise, I would have done an early politics show and a mob tube show and then an addiction recovery show like I did yesterday. But today was a different type of day for me. And I did skate my balls off earlier. But he has to come on because he has to come on. He's addicted to it, and the only reason, because of the fact that he has to be here, whether it's his addiction to it or it's the fact that, a good bit of his income still comes from YouTube, the fact that he's not coming on tells you he's not in Florida. When was the last time he didn't come on? What was that? About 2 weeks ago, something like that. For a week, he didn't come on, right? He said it was because his channel was struck, but then that Sunday he just made a new one, like he could have done any of those days. Bottom line is he did leave Port Charlotte. There's no question. Maybe he went gone to Georgia for a week or something like that. He was very, very scared. It's Tony Pizza's mentality. I'll let the heat die down. After the thing talking about Kaz's daughter Michaela and all that stuff. He was shook. So he left and he wouldn't come on because he wouldn't, he knew we would ask him to prove he's in Port Charlotte, like I was doing for a week before while he was still on here. So he wouldn't come on, and that hurts him when he doesn't come on, believe me. So it's the same thing now. It's if he was somewhere, no matter where it is, other than Florida, he would show us, even if he was in a different area of Florida, he'd say, look, I'm not there anymore, but he just doesn't want us to think he's there because he came back for a week, after taking the week off because he was scared. But he's gone again, because I'm telling you, he's not in that area. He's still in that area. He's not in New York or anything. So if he goes live, people are going to ask, where are you? He knows. Oh yeah, Bertram? Yeah, I don't remember that. I wasn't there for that. I can't stand watching SoFlo for even 2 minutes straight. I have no clue what that maniac is doing. Yeah, well, he's out of his mind. Yeah. It's usually just the same shit as the day before, though. McCarthy got his R-word check. Oh, John Graham, how dare you use that language? Oh, that's another thing. That's right. I keep forgetting that. You guys got to constantly remind me. Yeah, he got his disability check. He always disappears, not every month, but a lot of months. He disappears the first week of the month. Yeah, he got his disability check. I forgot. Yeah, so. And maybe he is traveling. It's possible, but I highly doubt it. And if he is somewhere else, he doesn't want us to know where he is, wherever that is either. He doesn't want us to know that either, especially if he's in New York, which I doubt. Like I said, guys, I believe he's staying with his mom. I don't think he's leaving Florida anytime soon. I think if I decided to take a trip there tomorrow or the next day or something, I think it'd be easy to find him. I could be wrong, though. But listen to what he said. I'm just, like I said, it's like 2 minutes. I'm just going to play it because I know I've already played it. But this is his tough guy talk while he's hiding. He's hiding now, right? Listen. Yeah, when you live in your car, you're technically always traveling. Yeah, as long as that car is moving, right? Sean is on his monthly meth bender, probably.
When I go up there, he's getting a door knock.
I'm getting a door knock.
He's getting a door knock, and I'm not going alone because I know that he might have a couple of nigger friends around there.
I believe this language.
That might try to be
the language. YouTube. I do not agree with this language. It's not me saying that. That's some guy I'm reporting on, so to speak.
Gangsters for him. So I'm going to come there with some guys.
Now, I honestly, I can't even say 100% I played this before. But anyway, he's going to come here with some guys. Again, let me just remind him, you had Johnny Mac, Sessa, Ronnie, the other black dude, and Marco, and you didn't come. But now you're going to have a whole crew of people. Why don't you have that same crew of people protecting you in Florida?
But it'll be live this time. It won't be pre-recorded like Johnny Mac did.
Pre-recorded?
It'll be live. We're gonna show the world what
How did Johnny Mac pre-record something? How?
a fucking cunt
Maybe he means he recorded it and then he put it up or something. I don't know.
guy really is. Because if he's not a cunt, he won't call the cops, right? When I get there.
No, Tony, no concerns about that.
We'll even give him time to get his boys to come and help him.
No need.
All right?
I'm not one of those guys. It's just if I decide I want to do something to you, I can do it all by myself.
I'm coming there with a small army.
Just small army. So small it doesn't even exist.
So you know. I'm not coming alone. I got a bunch of people that want a piece of your ass.
Leave it to Tony to say everything he says either is gay or at least sounds gay. You got a bunch of people that want a piece of my ass. What the fuck? What the fuck is that about? So
you know.
Yeah.
I warned them cops in York. You don't want me to come there. You don't. This is what I didn't want. But this guy doesn't know how to shut the fuck up and leave.
Listen, nobody says that to the police, okay? Because you're going to get arrested. He didn't say anything like that. He called the detective and just told him that I bully him and pick on him and harass him nonstop. The same spiel he gives on fucking YouTube every single day. Hang on, guys. It's funny how sometimes you forget how old you are and then you stand up. And it's like, oh, yeah, that. 5 Guys. Ooh, chicken skin. Yeah. This guy with the racism. I know, right? Terrible guy. That's Pizza's playbook. Disappear around the 1st of the month because he picks up the check at his mom's and hangs with her. Yeah, I think so. Well, I don't know. I mean, maybe if he doesn't actually have a bank account, but I think Tony probably. I don't know if anybody gets paper checks anymore. Maybe. I don't know. He's with his mom. I agree with you. Yeah. Why admit crimes before doing them? Tony never has any intention on doing anything he says. Yeah, I know he does. Very bizarre. Because he's a putz, he is. He is with his mom and Gerard. Guarantees. Tony, what's it like being in your bedroom with all that noise next door? You know what I mean? Gerard banging out your fucking mom. That's got to be tough. Holy shit. Is this the hitman that called the cops and local news station because he got tapped on his head? Yeah, when I was going through these screen recordings of some of his most recent shows and shit, he was talking about, he was giving this big bullshit story about how they weren't going to do anything to Fred or something, and then one of them held up this big stick covered in blood, which we know there wasn't any big stick covered in blood. And then they said, oh, you're going to stick to the same story to Fred, and then they arrested him. Yeah, okay, sure. Let me see. Oh, Pizza's not coming for you. He has no friends. He's a gigantic coward. Of course, I know. Does anyone know where his mom lives? Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I have the address memorized. Gerard says, Shawnee boy, go get me a beer. What's it like having another stepfather, Tony? Jesus Christ. You've been through 2 now, right? Gerard, control your stepson. Yeah, he needs to. We never talked to Gerard about that. Gerard seriously needs to get that motherfucker under control. It's about time. Let's see here.
The fuck up and leave me alone. So.
Ciao.
Yes, I did. I just changed it the other day. Soflo's got it. You can get it from Soflo.
Oh, his number? SoFlo's got it. It's so funny. SoFlo's probably getting somebody on another content to hack fucking another continent. What did I say? To hack Tony's phone to the stepdaddy. I heard Iceman was banging Pizza's mom because Pizza wouldn't stop annoying him, so he made a burger for him. That's the real story. Yeah. That's where the poison cheeseburger came from, huh? I can believe that. He definitely makes you want to do that to him.
Tony's got it. You can get it from him.
Who's that, Georgie Pool Stick or something? I don't know.
We got about 8 minutes left before I hang up. I don't like to do over an hour.
Now, listen, guys, I've made the argument that, these shows were always just an hour. I mean, all this, people don't realize, man, all this fucking 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 and 10-hour live stream horse shit, that only started when you started doing nothing but panel shows. In other words, there's certain channels here where you'll never hear the content creator doing a live stream the whole way through by himself, except for me. Okay, you won't see anybody else. I hate to say it, but you might see SoFlo do it, but that's simply because nobody wants to come on his show anymore. But even he will have people, like he's been having Tony Pizza lately. It's very very rare now, But people used to just Lee Cole, MRE, me, even Gunsmoke for a little while, Lefty, different people would do. Well, Lefty kind of went crazy. He would do 24-hour live streams, but I just say that because I think he's done shows by himself. But people just do them. People just did them by themselves, and they did hour-long live streams. That's what it started with. That's what it always was. Even interviews and stuff were generally hour-long videos. But when people started getting panels, the problem is it's a good thing on one hand and a bad thing, at the same time. It's like you have people up there to talk for you and stuff, so you don't really have to talk. You just let the panel do the work for you. But then you got the issue of, well, you don't want to be disrespectful. So it's like, when do I get to end the show now? And some people, they donation fish. So they'll stay on for hours and hours and hours to get what they have to get. And hey, I'm not even knocking that. But anyway, as far as I'm concerned, these shows are supposed to be an hour long. I remember when I first talked to somebody about this in the beginning, and they said, you don't want to make your live streams too long. I remember when somebody was telling me I'm crazy for doing hours. I'm only supposed to do a half an hour. I'm like, what? So anyway, I do believe that, but I'll do as long as, like, whatever free time I have. Like, if we got a conversation going and there's donations, I'll stay on an hour and a half, 2 hours, whatever. That's why the politics shows are regularly 2 hours or more, because you don't run out of shit to talk about. But when Tony says I don't like to do more than an hour, I mean, that goes to his work ethic. It's not about, he generally tends to stay around an hour. That's how long his live streams are. No. No, he counts the minutes. You already said, I got 8 minutes left. I don't like to do more than an hour. Unbelievable. Pizza's in the closet with pillow cover in his ears to block out the squeaky bed. Yeah. It's like a cheap motel in that fucking apartment. It takes talent to do this shit. Yeah, I think so. I was on panel once, and people who talk crap in these chats will never panel up. Yeah, usually not. FBS has been doing shows basically every day for 5 years straight. He puts in the work constantly, man. Constantly. And I don't know. Until I find a better way, that's what I'll be doing, I guess, but But that's the thing with me, you know, if somebody came along and offered me a job where I got to work 50 hours, 60 hours a week, but they said, hey, you're going to make X amount of dollars a year and it's good, I'll just do that instead. You know what I mean? Like something better comes along, I'll do that. That's why I do like to fuck around with different types of content. The politics, yeah, if that got to the point where I was making 200 grand a year, yeah, I would never do another fucking MobTube show ever again under any circumstances. If the addiction recovery grew, like, because now, listen, I don't care. People could say whatever they want. Now I tell people you don't have to donate, but if you want to, you know, you can. I'm in no position to turn it down, but I always tell them it's not required. I'll do those shows for free. I don't care. But if it got so big that I was making a lot of money on them, then yeah, I would just do that. You know what I mean? I like trying different things, and even if it doesn't work, at least you tried it. You know, the majority of people here, I mean, all of the people here, they've done one thing and only one thing. They're one trick ponies. They don't, if there's nothing MobTube related to talk about, they have nothing to talk about. Nothing. So, you know, I don't ever want to be in that boat. And I never really was. If you remember, shit, I did a whole like series of Idaho murders, true crime shows. They were great. I did like 12 of them or some shit. And they got great views. They all got like thousands of views, 3,500, 4,000 views, shit like that. Yeah, I know, Bertram. I'd love to never see that begging bum loser on YouTube ever again, although watching him fall at everything, or fail, I'm sorry, at everything is fun. I know it is. It is. Guys, do me a favor. If you're enjoying the show, hit the like button and donate if you can. If not, is what it is. There's about a lot of drama in the gay community. You should look into it. No. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. Although, if there's a straight community, no, if there's any community, I'm obviously not going to join a gay community. But other than that, if there's any communities where you see a lot of drama happening, yeah, and you know I could jump in on it, let me know. I'm always open for that. That's honestly the simplest answer. But guys, I've been on here 5 years, and there's been times where I've taken weeks to just surf through YouTube and look for different types of shit and try to find different communities. And I mean, unless you know something is going on somewhere, just like MobTube, you know, if you didn't know MobTube existed, you would never ever find it on YouTube, you know. But a lot of the people in this, guys, who in the chat right now started by seeing me on the politics shows? Who exactly? I think from what I count, I think there's 4 of you. Who started out seeing me from the politics shows? Hey, Rebecca Green, how the fuck are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. Did I already do that? I don't know. No, I knew you meant to say a lot. Yeah. There's this one thing I told you I watch now. There's this guy. I'm not even telling you who he is. He sucks. He really sucks. There's this show called The Fullestness. It's a channel. It's a black guy and a gigantic white girl, shockingly enough, who are they're homeless, and they just they have like, I think they have like 250,000 subs or something. It's outrageous how many subs they have, and they make so much just off of views. It's unbelievable. I wouldn't doubt if they're making a couple 100,000 a year easily. And I can't even imagine what people give them in donations, even though they generally, I don't think, do live streams. And they are one fucking fucked up couple. I mean, you know, the guy insists on being homeless because he wants to save as much money as possible. And it's not like there's any goal. Like, okay, when we have this much, we'll get a house. No, he just believes it's just easier to be homeless. He doesn't want to work. He refuses to work. And the woman is just a pig of a woman who's just, you know, anyway. It's almost like she's controlled by him. But there's a couple of channels around that couple. But, you know, I don't know. I haven't seen anybody live streaming about that couple. I've seen There's a guy named Pineapple or some shit, a dude that does uploads about them where he goes over their videos and he's dissing them and insulting them and making fun of them and shit. But I don't see how he makes money. I mean, his views are like in the 3,000s, but you can't make a living off of that, with that kind of views. It's impossible. So I'm always on the lookout, man. That would be the simplest solution, man. Some community where I could just jump in on some shit talking because I'm the best at it. Yeah. I'm just not, listen, guys, I don't want to be, even if donations were the way they were 3 years ago, believe me, I'd be happy with that, but I wouldn't be content. I mean, I want to eventually, I didn't used to care about this, but now I want to eventually be doing something on YouTube that makes so much money. It's absurd. Do you know what I mean? Like, seriously. And I know I can do it. I just got to find the right niche. It's funny. The politics shows, man, I get emails and stuff. People love what I do. It's fucking people in every live chat telling me, I love your show. You're the only honest one. Like, all kinds of stuff. Cause I won't I'm not like a liberal. I won't sit there and, I'll curse and I'll speak my fucking mind, and I'll talk like a real person and not somebody who's trying to be politically correct. But man, I thought for sure, like, oh, you can't in today's climate, political climate, if you're talking about either side, the opposing side is going to give you fucking tons of money. You're just going to be raking in fucking money, and I was completely and totally wrong about that. Completely. I mean, I swear to God, if people hate Trump so bad, it's like, and I don't do that just for money. I hate the guy, but because I hate him, it's like, I could do that and rake in money. But it turns out liberals are the cheapest people on fucking planet Earth, because still to this day, probably the majority of money I've made from the politics channel has come from MAGA people who despise me, but they donate. Well, not anymore. In the beginning, they were. I had Trump supporters that were giving me like $200 cash apps and shit. But it's just not, that for me to do that shit, it's got to be worth it, man. I got to make a lot of fucking money. I'm just not. But that's why I got to work on that algorithm, Anyway, Tony Pizza, listen, fuckface, you're still in Florida. We know you are. You're not coming on YouTube because then you'll have to show everybody where you are. Of course he wouldn't. I mean, he could just park by trees like he always does. But he's being challenged. He don't like that, and he thinks he's going to somehow cost me money or something by not coming on here. Bro, I will figure out something to talk about every day without you, Tony. It doesn't matter. You being on here just makes it a little easier, because everybody loves, I mean, not everybody, but a lot of people love when I fuck with you and I play your shows and shit. It's fun. I love it. It's fun. But I'll always figure something to talk about. Today is just a bad donation day in general. So even if, the people love the true crime show I did, they're not just not donating today. This is the way it is. But anyway, I'm going to go just because I'm going to cook dinner tonight. I'm going to cook a nice big dinner, and we're going to watch a couple of movies because Shanna goes back to work, actually not tomorrow, this week, Thursday. But this is the last night where she don't have to worry about getting up early the next day. So we're going to have a good time as usual. The Invisible Man meaning pizza? No. He's trying to stay off of YouTube because he thinks he's going to hurt me somehow. He's a trip. He's a trip. He's fucking nuts. He's nuts. He forgets that I've gone collectively years without talking about Tony Pizza with no issue. You know what I mean? Rebecca, goddamn, you didn't have to do that. Holy shit, $50 Australian here, my friend. Thank you, Rebecca. God damn, Rebecca looks out for me all the time. You are the shit. Thank you so much. Wow. That was good. Yeah, I went years. I mean, years. Even even just recently, I did like 7 nights or 7 days straight of just talking about SoFlo. I don't really care that much, you know. I'll just get creative. I'll talk about something else, you know. And now I'll do politics shows or addiction recovery. You know, the addiction recovery people actually donate, you know, and I ain't got to really ask them to or nothing. I told you, I tell them it's not required to donate, but they do because you get new people doing those vertical live streams. And once I get the algorithm working again, we're going to have addiction recovery shows where there's hundreds of people watching live, and that's going to be good too. So anyway, let me see. I would think he would want to meet you after all his threat. Yeah, David Smith, never. He's scared to death to meet me. And thank you for that, Rebecca. I appreciate that comment also. All right, guys. Yeah, I'm going to get going. And Rebecca looks good in those mouse ears. Are you hitting on Rebecca? Oh, shit. Well, we got a love connection in here. What do you mean 20 years? Rebecca, you look very young. Of course, you don't have to tell us your age, but I think Dave or Alan likes your ears. The mouse ears. But Tony, we'll see you when you come back on, you know, whenever that is. And of course, when you see him, screen record it, just in case I miss it, screen record it, send it to me through WhatsApp or some shit. You know, I'll figure out something good to do with it. But he's dumb because he's just hurting his channel too. Not like it matters. He starts new channel. Oh, she's married. I'll just fucking with you anyway, bro. What was I gonna say? Oh, his channel is. It doesn't matter. Like I said, his channels come and go, but he's not getting any views. He's a stupid ass, you know. It doesn't matter, Tony. Like, I have so much of your shit saved, and there's so much old stuff. If you didn't do a fucking live stream for 3 months, and I wanted to play a different one people haven't seen yet or haven't seen in forever, I could every day with no problem. But whatever, let him do what he wants. All right, guys, listen. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you, Rebecca. Thank you for that wonderful donation. And earlier, I can't find my super chats anymore, but John Graham and Joseph Montanaro, thank you guys. I'm out. I'll see you tomorrow at some point. Yeah, that would be interesting, wouldn't it? Oh, you're 42. Okay, cool. All right, guys, I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one. Peace. Ugh.